Hey, welcome to Minding Your Business with the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce. I'm Chris Spiker of Antelope Valley Florist.
I'm Aaron Goldstein. We are here with our first guest, Lori Fisher.
Hey, welcome, Lori.
Thank you, guys.
Coldwell Banker Hartwig.
Yes.
And your office is on 20th Street West and what is that, about J4?
J8.
J8, that's right. And I was driving by the other day because I live down the street, and you had a big banner, something about homes for dogs.
Yes.
And I thought, we need to get on the... Now, that event has already taken place.
Yes,
But do you do it every year?
we do. It's a national campaign that Coldwell Banker does, and they advertise it on commercials and stuff, and they ask all the Coldwell Banker offices across the nation to participate. So we partnered with a local shelter, and they came out, and Coldwell, our office, Hartwig, paid for all the adoption fees. And
Wow.
we adopted out lots of dogs.
So dogs came,
Yes, they did.
and families came,
Yes,
and you matched them up.
we did. And we had hot dogs for everybody.
Hot dogs. But it was a beautiful day, so the dogs weren't hot, but the food was hot.
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We do it right out in the parking lot, and a lot of people came. A young man came by, and he makes dog collars, and he donated a bunch to the shelter. So it was just kind of a nice community thing to do.
I was going to ask you, what are some of the, I mean, we don't want to forget one, but what are some of the community things that you do or that Coldwell Banker does in the community?
Well, my office is family owned, as you know, and my father is the broker. And years ago, he and my mom were the one of the original founders of the Children's Center. So for the last 32 years, we've all volunteered there, and that's the Child Abuse Treatment Center. And so we're very involved in that, and all of our agents are too. Give a lot of donations to them, and then participate in all their events.
Family and agents. Tell me, how many agents are over at your office?
We have, I'm going to guess, about 75.
Yeah, because I was looking for your name and phone number, and I had to scroll through a bunch of faces.
Yeah,
And, you know, faces are really important. It's a people business.
yeah.
Your mother sold us a house one time, and we just got in the car, and she bought me a popsicle.
And you bought a house.
And I bought a house. That was the best 42 cents she ever spent. But it was fun,
Yeah,
you know, looking. And homes can be, for a number of different things we accomplish, quite an investment. I mean, quite a return on the investment.
absolutely. It's probably the biggest investment anyone would make, and in addition, it's one of the best investments you can do. It's a bank account for you.
It's a family business, mom and dad,
Yes,
and your dad still works every day.
Monday through Friday.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That's every day.
Yeah. No, he loves it. He's never going to retire. My mom retired. My grandparents work there. My grandpa was 80 when he retired, and my grandma was 85. And then they both lived until their 90s. But right now, my brother and sister and I are there. And
Debbie and Todd.
yes,
So this is like your hometown.
it is.
Okay, this wasn't a question we prepared for, but what is it like living in your hometown?
It's comfortable. It feels secure. You know, to me, it's home. I was born in Antelope Valley Hospital. They probably just opened the doors. Actually, all three of us were born there.
I think the hospital been open for 10 years before you were born.
Oh, good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You think you're an old timer, but you're getting there.
But yeah, it's nice, and I mean, how lucky am I to be able to work with my family? Well, we get along. I guess
Yeah.
if we didn't, it would not be fun. But to get to see my family and be that close every day, and then you just know the town. I know just about every street, Lancaster and Palmdale.
I know your dad does. I went in there a while ago and we just just closed the door and we chatted for like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
He sounds like he's been around the valley since the 30s.
he moved here in 1941, and
Yeah.
he was just a little guy.
Yeah.
And he's lived here his whole life.
Yeah. So he's got some stories.
He does indeed.
And I've mentioned he's got a standing invite over to the Palmdale Old Timers.
I told him that.
Okay.
I told him that. He goes, "Yeah, I'll try to fit that in."
You know, we only need 15 or 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be every
I'll get
point.
him over there.
Because the attention span over there is a little short. As soon as you mention something, you know, a corner or a property or a person, then everybody in the room has a story.
Yes.
It's just kind of a conversation starter,
Okay.
but it's really fun. So anybody that's been here for 25 or more years,
Yeah.
welcome. Last Friday of every month.
Okay.
Talking about real estate, was there a downturn in 2006?
Yes, there was. It started at the tail end of 2005, but the real estate market actually, in the year 2007, dropped here locally 60%. Home prices did.
Wow.
And it was obviously devastating. And then we had the whole glut of foreclosure homes, which you saw across the nation as well. They had always talked about that bubble bursting in real estate, and it did. But the good news is we're now back up to about what the prices were before they fell. So, 12 years.
And are people cautious because they think there's another bubble, or?
Some are, but we have historic interest rates. When I started, they were 22%, and nobody got a loan from the bank. You
Yeah.
had the owner carry and stuff. And today, you can go get a loan for FHA and VA is 3.25%.
Wow.
If you get a conventional loan, it's 3.75. Unbelievable.
It makes it possible to own something.
It does, yeah.
And what's the difference between owning and renting?
Well, you have the write-off, number one, and it's a bank account for you. So each month, the normal appreciation is about 5% a year. So that's the benefit, and plus just pride of ownership, having something. Renting, it's a good time to own rentals because our office alone manages about 300 properties in the valley.
Yeah.
There's no vacancies. And when one becomes available, there's several people trying to get in. So, of course, that created the rent values to go up.
Yeah. A friend of ours had no trouble selling the house. Oh, now I'm going to rent something. No rentals available.
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let's just build some. Let's just snap our fingers and build some.
yeah. We're starting to see that a little bit, but the cost of building is outrageous, and water and whatnot, so it's slow to recover. And that's all over, and in California, we really have a shortage of homes.
We're in California.
Yes, we
That's
are.
the good news and the bad news.
Yep.
And it costs a lot more to build something than it did. And that will continue to be the problem.
Yeah.
So you just sell real estate in the Antelope Valley, or do you?
Anywhere in California. I do a lot down in Santa Clarita and in the San Fernando Valley. I have family in San Diego, so I'm a member of their board of realtors down there. And so I go down there and sell to family and friends. I've even gone up to the Bay Area. And then, if you sell buildings and commercial, you're all over the state, but primarily Southern California.
So you just go where it.
I just drive around.
Just go where it's happening. That's
Yeah.
what you said. The car was on autopilot today.
It was.
And so, is it difficult for a buyer to qualify to buy a home? Is it any different right now?
Well, it's easier than it's ever been because of the interest rates being low. And there's all kinds of new programs out there for first-time buyers. And your credit, probably the minimum credit score is about 580 for FHA and VA and 620 for conventional. So there's a lot of leeway there.
And you walk people through that whole
Yes.
process.
Yes.
Contact information?
Yeah. Coldwell Banker is phone number 661-948-8424. Or online, it's coldwellbankerhartwig.com.
Very good.
Yeah.
And we mentioned Todd
Yes.
and Debbie.
Yes.
Good kids, huh?
Yeah, it's so funny that we all ended up doing real estate. That's not what any of us intended. But my dad said, you get a real estate license, and then he roped us in.
I was going to mess with you, and because real estate is so easy.
Yes. Short hours, easy money.
Short hours. You have to remember that next time you're driving to San Diego to show a house, or.
Uh-huh.
And where did the name Hartwig come from?
Al Hartwig was the first local guy that opened a real estate office, and they just did land and a few houses, and he sold his business to my dad and his business partner in 1973, and so it was well known. I was known all through high school as Lori Hartwig, but you know, we just kept his name because it was known.
You know, that's an iconic photo of Al Hartwig. He's got the little string tie and
Yes.
the flat cowboy hat.
Yes.
I mean,
And he drove a Rolls Royce.
and so if you could have seen him down the street or across the boulevard, you knew who it was, because
Yeah.
nobody dressed like that
Yeah.
in the good old days. Well, thank you also for being a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the show is about.
Yes. It's important to be involved in your community.
Do you know the dates for the Home for Dogs?
It's always in September. It's usually the third weekend in September.
People don't have to wait till September to.
No, they don't. In fact, they can call our office and we can put them in touch and maybe get them a little discount on the adoption fees.
I like it. And then, what does it cost to go to your office and have people see some homes?
It's free.
Free.
Imagine
And the
that.
console. And there might even be a popsicle in there somewhere.
Yes, we can give you a bottle of water and a popsicle.
Talking with Lori Fisher from Coldwell Banker Hartwig. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Appreciate it.